Hello, welcome again to Match Fishing TV. I've been joined today by Mosella consultant Andy May, who's come along to talk all about bread. Now, as we all know, bread's a fantastic bait for all sorts of species. One of the problems, or two of the problems with bread, is that A, it's difficult to keep it on the hook, and B, it goes stale. Now, we've got a fantastic new substitute that you're going to tell me all about.
We have, yeah.
Which is an awful lot better than standard bread. So
yeah, it is. I've been using it for quite a while now, and it's going really well, actually. It's kind of like freeze-dried bread. I'm not entirely sure how they've done it. They've basically comes in the packaging like this, and to cut it, all we do is just get some heavy nylon line and just basically cut right through, just like a cheese wire. So what you're left with after that is basically a dry piece of bread, just like French toast, something like that.
Yeah.
And the way we form it is we put it in the water, and we'll be left with a texture that's very, very soggy bread, but it stays very firm. And as you pointed out on when you were saying earlier on, Dave, that's the main problem with bread. It does come off in the water quite often when you're striking. The main advantage with this bread is though that you can cast it, you can actually hair rig the bread so it doesn't come off quite easy.
Let's just talk about preparation before we talk about actually application.
Yeah. Basically all you do, and there's a couple of ways of doing it, you can either prepare it the previous day and leave it in water and do it that way, or you can just leave it in the water and say maggot tub when you get to the actual fishery. Leave it a minute or two soaking in the water. And then what you can do, when it's all absorbed all the water, you can actually squeeze all the water out, and what you'll be left with is a piece of soggy fresh bread, like that. That was its original state, the freeze-dried one.
Which would normally just fall apart, wouldn't it?
Yeah, of course it would. Any normal bread would just fall apart, but the magic thing about this, which is why I'm raving about it, is you can pick a piece out of the middle out if you don't want the crust. Pick a piece out of the middle out, you can squeeze it up into a little ball, you see all that water coming out of it.
Yeah.
I mean, normal bread now, that'll be just mush in your hands.
Yes.
The brilliant thing about this is it stays in its natural form, and if we just drop it in the water, it'll just expand out again. Well, absolutely brilliant. I've never seen anything quite like it before, really.
Straight away, you can see so many applications for carp fishing, maybe for trout fishing on rivers.
Of course it does. The big advantage with it and all, especially for carping when they're coming up in the water, is if you're fishing at distance with bread, it's quite difficult to get the bread out there.
Yeah.
But with this, you can actually hair rig the bread. You can hair rig a piece of crust onto the bread, and you can cast it more or less as far as you want, really. So
you brought some rigs along to demonstrate something on that as well. So.
Yeah, one of the brilliant things about this product, Dave, is that you can actually use it hair rigged, as if by magic. Here's one I prepared earlier.
In true Blue Peter style. I can just see so many applications for this, Andy. With long casting and everything in mind. I mean, it is a major problem, isn't it, with bread on a hook or an area? It's just instant. The minute it's sort of connected with the water,
it is. It's unbelievable. It just expands out. And of course, you can do exactly the same thing with that with the crust, so it can float up. So you can use pop-ups, you can use it on zig rigs, anything like that. Yeah. Have you used one of these before, Dave?
No, I've actually seen one. I had one in the magazine recently. John Arthur nicked it, I think.
Yeah, not like him, is it?
No, I've seen one before, but I've never actually used one. Interesting looking.
Oh, they're absolutely fantastic. They're a godsend for anglers like me with bigger hands, or say if your hands are a bit slimy and when you're trying to put a pellet on. These devices are absolutely crucial. Right. And what I said before about distance casting with bread, you can't actually use that without using one of these. Right. You've got to make sure you use one of these tools for it. Basically, you just slip the band over the band bait tool.
You used a very, very tiny band.
Yeah, I mean, this will band anything from a size 3mm up to a size 12mm pellet on them. Basically, you just attach it over the tool, the band bait, and then just by pressing on it, you can expand it out. I mean, it's great for people with arthritis or disabled. As I said before, if your hands are a bit slimy, it's absolutely a brilliant device. I'll just show you with the actual bread as well. Just roll the bread up and show you.
And again, if we were using standard bread with this, you'd just break it in half.
It would.
Just mulch it up.
It would. So you see how that's gone on? absolutely perfect, that.
Yeah.
And so you could cast that really long distances, no problem at all.
Fantastic.
It's brilliant.
There's just so many applications. Just looking at that, there's so many applications come to mind.
It really is, yeah.
For a variety of venues. Brilliant.
Yeah, the really good thing about it, Dave, is that literally you can squeeze it as hard as you want, and it'll act just like bread in the water. You squeeze it really, really hard. You don't have to worry about it coming off or anything like that. You squeeze it as hard as you want.
Now I would think that'd just go in this as a rock hard pellet and stay as a rock hard.
You would do, yeah, you would do, but wait till
you're
you
gonna prove
see
the
this in the
difference, aren't
water.
you?
It's absolutely unbelievable. Just watch this now.
Wow.
Unbelievable, isn't it? Absolutely
I
unbelievable.
can see why you call it magic bread.
That's it. And also, Dave, you can see I'm using quite a big piece of bread now, but what you can also do is, while it's in this form, you can literally just bring it back out of the water and just cut it down, break bits off with your nails, and you can use a really small piece just in case,
Almost like bread punch.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's just like having your own bread punch, but you can just mould it yourself.
Right.
I'll show you that.
I can't believe it stays on.
I know, it's unbelievable. Just break the bits of bread off with your fingernails. Of course you can use punch as well, won't be a problem at all, use punch, but I found it just as easy to do it this way. You can see that now, that's a lot smaller than what it was before. Of course you can go to extremes from that, Dave. I mean, if it's like, this time of year it's cold, the fish aren't really biting, don't really want big baits, you can go really small. So you can cut it even finer than that, cut it right down to the band, because the band's always going to compress a bit of bread into it anyway. You can see I'm just chopping bits off with my finger now.
Well, the only way you'd achieve this size of bait normally would be with a bread punch.
Yeah, with a tiny punch, but you can see this is so much easier, just to do it with your fingernails. You can see I'm chopping quite a bit off that. So we're left with just that. Right, let's just pop this back in the tank, Dave, and we'll see what happens when it's small.
Fabulous.
Unbelievable.
It is
It really is.
This is one hell of a good product. I'm impressed. I'm very, very impressed.
You're not having any.
This clearly is a quite revolutionary bait, isn't it? I presume you throw the crusts away.
No, not at all. Not
Okay.
at all. The crusts work really well for summer carping. When you've got to achieve quite long distances.
And do you have to do that with the band as well, or will you just put that
No,
straight
you
to the
put that straight on the hook. Basically, all you do, I'll show you, you just break a bit of crust off, just fold it over, just really compress the bread, fold it over, and get the hook, and just hook it right through the middle of the bread. And another advantage is, because your hook's facing away from it, it keeps all the line off it, and the fish can't see your hook or your line or anything like that when it's on the water, because it'll expand out again.
I'm looking forward to seeing this one in the tank. Go and drop it in.
You can see how it's keeping your line and your hook free from the water. The fish can't see anything, they don't think anything untoward.
And the texture of that is still quite firm then. Will the hook pull out of that now? If that was an ordinary piece of crust, the hook could drop straight out, wouldn't
I
it?
mean, if it was a normal piece of crust, it would, but you can wind this all the way back in. You'll see them pulled on that quite hard, then it's still firmly in place.
I mean, for surface carp, that's going to be a real winner in the summer.
It'll be an absolute killer, this, yeah, really will. Really will.
I'll ban it.
Yeah, probably something else to ban for them. Ban everything else.
That's remarkable. Fantastic, mate. So clearly we've got a bait here that's got a long shelf life in the shops
Yeah.
to start with. It's also a bait that can stay in your box or you can carry all for a long time.
Yeah, it can.
Is it artificial?
No, not at all. It's absolutely 100%. It's bread. Bread, basically, absolutely 100% bread.